Now then, people, good evening, or is it afternoon still? Welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. I hope you are all doing well. Smash me a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course, hit that notification bell. I hope you're all doing well. I did a post-match that went out at about midday. Thank you to everyone that's watched that. It's doing pretty well. We've got final word at 9 p.m. tonight, and I did not expect to be talking to you now ahead of Sunderland, if I'm honest. I was a bit surprised when I received the message off Danny Talk Sport to say, Joe, the press is on at 4. I was like, well, Kari's good, 180 quid. I've had to pay on top of the 60. It is what it is. But it's good, it's working, it's sound. I've been out to another nature reserve this afternoon with a dog. So, yeah, all good. Yeah, Rafinha captain in Barcelona doing bits, getting man of the match in Champions League. What a baller. Jesse had him playing right wing back and had him on throw-ins. Oh, my God. What a time to be alive that was. That's why, as well, I'm still perplexed as to why, even in recent years, some of the shit we've been through, some still, after a point away, criticise and exemplify minute issues as though they are terminal and, you know, yeah, going to cause our season to crash. Listen, hear me now. Hear me now. People are going, Friday is massive now. It is absolutely huge. It's not. We could get beat on Friday. Again, it's all right. Like, just it is massive now. Oh, my God. He's got to win it. And I'm a bit like, I'm not too sure it's that deep. Like, you know, I want us to get a positive result, but I'm a little bit disappointed. I thought we'd got through it with 2 positive results and, you know, being in the top 6 and now in the top 4, but even still, it's not enough. He doesn't have to do anything, Sam. If we don't win, we don't win. He's not going to get sacked, and nor should he. Do you know what I mean? It's like he doesn't have to do. It's not terminal if we didn't win on Friday. Honestly. Like, we put a poll out. 2's all right. 3, okay. 4, great. 6, amazing. So, yeah, and we don't have to, though, Sam. This is the point. Sure, I know. Someone actually messaged me about the final word. I said, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it, Joe. Because I feel like we talking as though we're like terrible and towards the bottom of the league, and you know, we've got so many holes in our game, and it's just factually incorrect. It's factually incorrect. And, yeah, it's just disappointing. I feel like this season is just going to be a proper slog. And we should be enjoying it. Because we're doing well. We've only lost 1 game in the league. What's the point? Are you on the wind-up, Sean? Is that a wind-up question, or are you being serious? What's the point where you begin to question Farke? That's not even a question right now. That's not even... Are you on... Be honest with me, bro. Are you actually on the wind-up, or are you being serious? Because that's a question that doesn't even need entertaining. Because we've not lost 2 games on the spin yet. 3 games. So you want me to right, when shall I start beginning questioning the manager after a point away at a team that haven't lost there since November of 2024? Oh, yeah. And the fact that we had to change our midfield on 3 occasions on the game. The fact that we've got all, 5 or 6 players out. Yeah, it's time to question. Like, come on. Yeah, he's got to be fishing any chance, bro. Like, no, because I never know with him. But if he is, come on. Oh, God. It is. It's mad. And also, I want to clarify something as well, because lots of people came for me on the Tanaka Rothwell partnership in my previous video. I said, this is what people wanted. And everyone's going, I don't think anybody wanted that. I don't think anybody wanted that. Some said it would have better balance. Believe me, it's out there. Some said that would have a better balance. Okay? Go check some post-match reactions to videos in recent time, and you'll hear that, okay? So some people said it, right? Some people said it. Also, what I will say, people keep going, nah, we wanted Gruev and Ampadu. Tanaka is that as well, you know. Tanaka is a 6. Tanaka played as a 6 last season. Yes, he can play in different positions in every phase of midfield, but it's still the same. It's still the same setup. You would still expect him to play that role. So just because the name is different, like this was the thing, a lot of it was name, I think, anyway. Get Gruev, Tanaka must start. And then Tanaka was deeper anyway. And then Gruev and him, and then we didn't see enough of that, obviously. So it wasn't so much the personnel I was getting at. It's more so the midfield. And it was disjointed. But hopefully on Friday, that will be better. That will be better. That's why, again, we must put context on last night's result. Like a lot of people were saying, a lot of people were saying, like, oh, it's not a good point. The standards of the football club. That one makes me laugh, by the way. You want my honest opinion when people talk about standards? No disrespect to any Leeds fan. But the last 2 decades, we don't have standards. So what fucking standards are you living on? What standards are you expecting? The standards of this football club are on. We're not Arsenal. We're not Arsenal. We're not Manchester United, who haven't won a title for a decade. I mean, I hate to say it, but them clubs are top 6 clubs that have won Champions League, win FA Cups. Arsenal got the most FA Cups in the whole of England. Liverpool are winning Europe. Man, we haven't done that. 70s. Last 2 decades, we have no standards. So when we're at the top of a championship, having lost 1 game in the league, that's a very good standard for Leeds United. Facts. But people don't want to hear it. People don't want to hear it. And won't accept it. They'll go, well, why? Well, you know, standards of this club are on the floor. Where were you for the last 10 years? Where have you been? Where have you been? Unless you picked it back up after Bielsa came when we were in the Premier League. Maybe that's what it is. It's mental talking about standards. I'm sorry, it is. Where was all the standard shit? Where was all the standard shit when Bielsa was sacked? I never saw any of it. Why has it become a thing now? Why has it become a thing this season? We're Leeds United. Standards. We're on the floor. If you want to talk about standards, we got 90 points last season. That is a very good standard, but that's still not good enough. But the people who told me that's not good enough are the people telling me the standards are on the floor. Well, hang on a minute. We got 90 points. Is that not a good standard? Or is it just any which way to bang this manager with a stick? Because that's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. It just frustrates me. It really frustrates me. So, it's mad. Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing really good. Michael said, how long would you give Farke then, Joe? Well, he'll get sacked in the Premier League, if anything, because we'll go up. No, sure. No, you're not getting it. We're too good for the standard. It's not the traditional 15th in the... Yeah, where was the standard chat when we were there, bro? Where was it? I know YouTube wasn't a thing, but no, I weren't going to games, you know. I weren't going to games, going away to grounds, and people were going, standards are on the floor, aren't they? We were just happy. We were just happy. So I don't know. I don't know about that. But hey ho. Yeah, and we probably will get at least a point, Sam. We probably will, broski. But yeah. Yeah. They hear a soundbite from a content creator, but unlike you guys, will die on their sword and stick to one opinion. I don't know if that's aimed at me, Dr. Wallace, but I'll change my opinion, broski, genuinely. Up and down, people know that. Like, if I will change my opinion, I'm never gonna just blindly back something. I won't. Now I know I'm guilty of. I know I'm guilty. Like I lean into it. I know I'm guilty of saying "I told you so." That's just how it is, man. But that's part of Just Joe, innit? Bipolar Joe. Oh, here he comes. It's just all part of it. But yeah. But I will change my opinion if I was wrong. Definitely. Now the presser will go in the comments. I thought it was pretty dead. Where were the likely lads? They must have had the day off. There was no Pope. There was no there was no Popey. There was no Graham. There was no Berham. There was none of it. Right, let me get to. I'm going to answer that, Jamie. We've had some good comments coming in. So just out of curiosities, I want Leeds front and centre, not an expectation or a standard. It's an expectation of what I wanted, yeah. But I'm not going like the standards of the football club. If we don't get that, it's different. I expected that, yeah. And I would say we're doing that, Jamie, though. This is what I mean. People, and maybe they've misconstrued it, and obviously next time, and I'm going to have to speak in like literals. Like I can't come away from that. But I said it, so therefore I'm gonna have to defend it. Yeah. But for me, we are front and centre. We're fourth, 1 point off second. You can't win every game of football. For me, that's front and centre. Now, there's a difference by saying I would like this season. Now, I don't go, if we don't get that, the standards of this football club are on the floor. There's a difference there. So fourth, 1 point off the top and 1 point off second and 3 off the top. That for me is front and centre. Someone actually messaged me earlier just to give you big up to Paul. Actually sent me a thing. So last season at this stage we had 10 points, yeah, and 2 wins. 2 wins. This season, we've got 4 wins. Yeah, the same amount of draws and same amount of losses. We've scored more goals, conceded less, have more clean sheets, and are 2 points off the top, whereas last season, we were 9 points off the top. There's the difference, front and centre. Yes, we aren't top of the league. If you believe that by me saying I want Leeds front and centre by game week 1 is us saying that we must be in first to game week 1 to 46, then I was asking for something that's not achievable. Because not even Leicester did that. Not even Leicester did that last season. Not even Reading in their record-breaking points total probably kept first place all the season. Nah. But if we look back to last season, 10 points, 2 wins, 4 draws, 1 loss, 10 goals, 7 conceded, 3 clean sheets, 9 points off top. This season, 14 points, 4 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss, 12 goals scored, only 4 conceded, yeah, 5 clean sheets, and 2 points off top. Difference. And that's after 7 games. After 7 games. So, boom. That's what I'm saying. You do and should, but a lot of fans don't, as they maybe see it as being weak. Maybe. Sam, you know the score. It takes a lot for you to switch, though. I don't think it does, bro. I don't think it does. In what scenario? If you're on about the manager, I'm not going to switch because I know he's the right mind. Do you know what I mean? So, I'm not going to be too critical on that because of the lack of options. Like, he had to turn to Gelhardt and stuff. Not going to bring him on sooner. Whereas if he had Solomon and James, it'd have been totally different. And we've got 3 games in 6 days. And he's mentioned that in the presser with the likes of Ramazani. He only wanted to give him 60, ended up giving him 75, and now we're expecting him to play again. It's tough, man. It's tough. 3 points. 3 Point Friday. Defo, keep up the fantastic work. Thank you. There you go. Stephen Underwood, bit of history there. I wasn't around in them times. 4th place and 3 points off the top is obviously dreadful. I don't like Farke, but we are 1 point off top 2 and 3 off top. Yeah, that's better. And I'm not. You can say and speak however you want, but like Gabe, I don't like him, but he's best man for the job. So, my expectation is automatic as well. Mine is that. My expectation is automatic. But that's not what I'm referring to, Jamie. I'm referring to people after a point away saying the standards are on the floor at this football club because we didn't win away and as though the performance wasn't good enough and all this sort of stuff. So that's different, bro. I don't know. Maybe you've misconstrued in what I'm saying because I expect automatic and I think Leeds will get automatic. But I'm not saying like that's in the future. I'm on about the state when after we get a point and people say the standards are on the floor. It's a point away in the championship against a team that haven't lost at home since November. It's a good standard. I was shocked how quickly it turned ugly last night. Same. I didn't expect it, bro, and that's why I'm on today. Like, I'm confused, perplexed, fed up, and we've got a point. What, one position? Okay. Pedantic. Much. Come on, man. I know, bro. Tell me about it. Has bipolar Joe now been seen as hard-headed? I don't know. All right. What is it? That's crazy, though, Jamie. Again, this is all a narrative for me that you're creating for yourself in a way to criticize the manager. Because if you say we don't have a crisis, we've lost our 2 starting midfielders. We've lost Manor Solomon, Dan James, our 3rd fixed centre-back in Max Vober, and Isaac Schmidt. 6 players out of a 25-man squad or whatever it is, and all of them on their day could start. If that's not a crisis, then I don't know what is. So, and just because you were told this, you obviously don't believe it. So who are you having a go at there? Like, you don't believe that. So therefore, it is a crisis for you. Or are you using it as a point to ramp because you're going, well, I got told the Bayern crew were good enough. Well, you obviously don't think that. So for you, it is a crisis. You know what I mean? Yeah, mental. My head's blagged as well. Are you referring to me here? Is that what you're getting at? If that's what you're getting, yeah. So we had 4, didn't we? Now some believe, but I believe 4 was enough. Yeah, I believe if you're referring to me that I believed 4 was enough. Now, at the minute it is because we're not injured at centre back. So, however, if the bio has to be used and is not good enough, like you. So this is your point, isn't it? So it's nothing. It's because I said to you that the bio was an option. That's your point. So just say, Joe, you said we had enough. I don't think we do. Instead of going, well, I was told we've got enough, so therefore we've got enough. So how can it be an injury crisis? Because I was told we've got enough. You know what I mean? It's mad. Oh, but you don't believe that though, because you've just said you don't believe the bio's adequate enough. Mental. Don't think that's true, mate. At all. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Right, let's get into the presser. If only Mez could save penalties. By the way, yes, you know, we've had issues prior to that. We've had issues prior to that in terms of he shouldn't have been challenged. He should have been challenged and rode on this thingy, but it's terrible goalkeeping. No, it wasn't just you. It come from the manager's mouth instead. No worries, bro. We are creating a weird dynamic in chat. If we question the team, we are negative and crazy fans. No. No one's doing that, bro. No one's doing that. If you're hearing it as that, then, you know, I'll have a conversation. We can have a conversation about the team. What we having a conversation about now? We're not having a conversation about the team. We're having a conversation about people wanting the manager sacked who's lost one game. No one's mentioned anything about the team. We're not even chatting about the team. And of course, football is about opinions. Of course it is. And I appreciate this because I like to get into good discussion. This is what it's about. I don't want an echo chamber. I don't want to be sat here and everyone going, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right. Amazing. Because I know I'm not always right. And I need to have my thinking checked. And I will also, like, when we clap back at one another, like Jamie's put in the chat, he knows it's all love. We get heated. It's opinions. 100%. But I'm not, like, and also, if you are questioning the team yesterday, for some, in their opinion, you are negative because the performance was okay and we got a point away from home. It's not black and white. Do you see what I'm saying? And there are some opinions more valid than others. They are. Yeah, exactly. Hopefully, bro, more referring to the midfield. It's good to disagree. It's called a democracy. Joy's never consistent about Farke. Are you with Farke or against Farke? I'm with Farke. What do you mean I'm not consistent? We shouldn't. This is what drives me insane. We shouldn't even be having this conversation. That's what's blowing my mind. Big up. If everyone felt the same Jesus, that wouldn't be a Just Joe now. Yeah, man. So to me and Joe, yeah. I disagree, Lee. I disagree. And again, I actually saw Joe B having a debate with someone in the chat about Chris Rigg and trying to compare. Charlie Crew's not Chris Rigg. Chris Rigg's one of them generational boyos. Just like I said at the start of the season when everyone was saying young player of the year, and here comes to say I told you so, Joe, that Charlie Crew won't get near it. Because he's not the same level. I think we got, get rightly gassed up, but he's not the same level. A lot of young people don't even make the grade. Of course, Charlie Crew will. But these 7 youth players that you talk about, they were elite ballers. They are not Charlie Crew and James DeBayo. It's not comparable. Because trust me, if they were of the level of these youth players who went to play for huge clubs and played in Champions League, they would be playing. He's not looking at them going, yeah, you're too young, is he? Come on. He used Archie Gray last season, who now plays at Spurs. So it's not the same. Yeah, all good, man. All good. So sat talking about Farke being sacked and he's giving it credence. Should be, yeah, fair. That's probably a learn for me. Yeah, that is fair. And it's mad, isn't it, though, Paul? Because we shouldn't be. Sent you a tweet about just how front and centre we are versus last season. Big up. Let's have a look. Yeah, wow. Yeah, what's that? Yeah, see, this is good. This is after 8 games, sorry. So we've played 8 now, I believe. Yeah. So this is last season. Big up to Danny B. This is last season. You can see Leeds United in 6th, having won 1 at home. I assume that has drawn 3. 1, 2. Yeah, so 13 points after 8 games, and we're 8. Is that 8 points off? You can see though the difference, right? And obviously Preston had won, I think 6 on the spin, aren't they? So we're in much better position than we were last season. Goes without saying. Let's have a look. Archie Gray sold for 40 million, Joe. Give the youth a chance if the bench it. No, it's not charity, Lee. It's not charity. Right, so Farke has massive critics in the fan base. Why? I'm not sure. You want him to then risk his job by going, yeah, let's just get that Zach Chambers there, who was on the bench, by the way. Chambers, Charlie Krug, the bio. Throw him in. Just give him a chance. Come on. It's 1-1 away at Norwich. We've got Bamford, I've got Pirro, I've got Gelhardt, I've got Byron. Sack it. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. What if that chance goes to shit and we lose? It's not. You can't do this. It's not a thing. If Joe didn't listen to others' opinions, I wouldn't feel comfortable having a laugh. Yeah, exactly. We get other people on, man. If people are saying that in the chat, it's not true, man. It's not true, and people know that anyway, but it is what it is. Anyway, right, let's bring it back to, yeah, this is the thing. You can't just do that, can you? You can't just do it. Look at some of the best in the game. Like likes of Pep and that, how he bloods his youngsters. James McAtee and that, great in pre-season. Then he comes in. Last night at a fucking 3rd-rate Czech team or Bratislava or something, and played in Champions League alongside heavy hitters. That's how you blood youth. You don't, can you imagine, right? Away at Arsenal, 1-1 or whatever, and he goes, do you know what? Bring me McAtee, bring me him, or bang him on. Get Trafford in goal while we're at it. Go on, go for it. Give him a chance. It don't work like that, man. Just doesn't. Look at his stupid. Right, you can bemoan the substitutions, but your answer being just give the kids a chance isn't right. But like, he had to make changes due to them, and we've got a game on. We've got a game on Friday, and a lot of people, by the way, Lee. And again, this won't be brought up. This won't be brought up. A lot of people wanted 2 up top. Been seeing it. I've done seen it. I'll get 2 up top, Get 2 up top. We look shite with 2 up top. But people have said it, but they won't remember they've said that. Because tacticos, they just go, yeah, 2 up. You know what we need to do? Is play 2 up top and get Pirro in there. Pirro's a second. He needs to be up there. Well, we did it last night. But people won't remember that they've said that. Do you know what I mean? Look at the state of the subs. Even though they were saying, get in, Mixer. 4 fucking 2. Do it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. No, exactly. And rightly so, Aaron, though. Because they were cooking, weren't they? Yeah. Anyway, right. Let's get in. We've had some fun. Farke on Gruev for those. Thank you for letting me get my point out, Joe. No worries, Lee. Farke on Gruev. We're still waiting for further assessment. He'll have a scan later today, and I can tell you maybe more this evening. As it stands, it looks a bit better today. Doesn't feel that bad, but we have to wait for the scan. Inshallah. Amen. All that jazz, that it's not too bad. It's not too bad. But we won't know until after Friday, I reckon. That'll be one of the first questions, regardless of result. They'll say, how is Gruev? He was then asked about Schmidt as well. After his first competitive game, he had a few hits and knocks. No one from the last game's ruled out, so we're back at full strength from the last game, if that makes sense. I don't expect anyone to return. Isaac Schmidt may and will try tomorrow in our last training session. And if he comes through, then he could be on the bench. You know, he could be involved, but I expect him to be the only one who could return back. On Solomon, we were hoping he could have been involved today, but it was not possible. I expect the game comes a bit too soon for him. We have to go with what we've got. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Again, Solomon supposed to be training today, didn't. If he goes away on international duty, I'll be pissed. Farke then on trusting youngsters, more specifically Crew, says we have to look at young players. That's why several are involved in training. We have to adapt to the situation. All the players who I train with, I trust. We work with them, we back them, and if I need them, I'll bring them on in important games. I would 100% trust them. Asked about Charlie Crew. He's a good young player. He came to us at 17. Obviously, comparisons are being made to Gray, and I think that's what we did for Sunderland. This is not fair because he doesn't need weight on his shoulders to play at 17 or 18 and play regular first-team football for such a big club with such ambition to go back to the Premier League. It's not normal. It's not normal. They shouldn't be in the starting 11 or have major minutes. This happens once in 10 years, so it would be unfair to expect him to be the same as Archer. And that's what we were just talking about a second ago. This is like Archer was not one of the bottle, he was a special one. Those that were making comparisons with Chris Wigg, he is not one of... Listen, my driving instructor was chatting to me about Chris Wigg before he even became a mainstay in the side, and now he's balling out. So Sunderland fans have known about Chris Wigg, just like we've known about Archie Gray. Here's what it is. Charlie's a good character, always open, wanting to learn. We try to work a lot with him to improve him and just bring him closer to the door so that he can step through it. He has that chance to shine. He's down to earth, well-educated, humble, good guy, good footballer. But there is a step up between youth and football and senior football. For some, it takes a bit longer to make the breakthrough. He's on a good path. Involved at 18 for a few months. It says a lot about his potential, but when there's time to unleash him, we will. Okay, and that time is obviously not now. He was asked if he keeps an eye on JB. Of course we do. I hope he has a good season, but I don't want to speak about players that are not with us. We've too much work to do. 3 games in 6 days, many injury problems, so my focus is on the here and now, which I think is fair enough. He was asked about managing minutes. Tricky. We're used to it. Few games already in the Championship. I know the load is sometimes incredible. Even by Championship standards, this is a special occasion. 3 days in 6 days, then 2 away games, a second and third game, which it is. I think Sunderland have had 3 games in 6 days, but 2 of them have been at home. It is a bit harsh on Leeds United, but listen, we can't cry. It is what it is. So we have to adapt. If you don't use your squad and try to share the minutes, there's never time to do this. And this is why he made them changes as well, folks. Because we're asking largely Ramizani and Nonto to play 90. It's just not achievable. You know, and he also said it says a wrong sign to the rest of your squad because they all need to be used. But he didn't last season, which tells me we already know he didn't trust a lot of them last season anyway. He said, during a time when you have more injuries, you monitor the players even more. For example, we have 2 wingers, James and Solomon, who were injured. You make sure that players like Nonto or Ramazani are ready to start their 3 games in 6 days. Normally, you'd mix it up a bit, but to make sure they can start all 3 and deliver, you speak with the medical department, recovery, nutrition, sleep, etc. Just imagine if we had them 4 quarter wingers. We'd have no problems, would we? We'd have no problems at all. Unfortunately, we only have 2, though. So it's important from the sports science advice, whether their workload drops during a game, that maybe they seem to get tired. We can't afford another injury because we are thin in these positions. Imagine another injury. Wow. He was then asked about the medical department and if it's frustrating, and he kiboshed it and said, listen, I'm the manager. I decide how long to use a player. No one tells me what to do or what not to do, which thinks it's fair. You know, it annoys me when we have so many injuries. What we can do when Max Vauberry is injured with his national team, nothing we can do. Ethan Ampadu and Gruev are injured because of contacts in the game, nothing we can do. Someone said they're all injured in training, right? Also, when you have this spell, you need a squad of 11, 12, or 13. You need 20, 25, so it's important to give everyone the feeling they are needed. For that, you need to use your squad. He spoke about Sunderland. Great job, Reggie Labrie. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough game. Full of respect for their work. I'm excited for this one on Friday night. I can't lie to you. I think it's going to be very, very good. Asked if we'll look in the free market. I know a lot of people keep mentioning that. Not for Farke. No training. October's far too late. Plus, we'll wait for Gruev. Plus, it could upset the apple cart. It's not normal for teams to do this. It isn't normal. And I wouldn't want us to do it either, to be honest. Like, people have mentioned Joe Matip and Sergio Ramos, I read during the summer, and all these names. I'm like, Callum, man, Dele Alli. There is a reason no one's picked them up, if you know what I mean. He did calm down the favourites tag. I'm surprised everyone weren't kicking off about that, but he calmed it down. He said they're young. He was just tempering expectations, said we're in a good path. I don't think it's fair to label us favourites, etc. I mean, we are, and of course, but he can't come out and go, yeah, we're favourites and we should, because it just puts unnecessary pressure. And there was a lot of pressure on them last season, and look what happened to them. So, yeah, I understand his answer on that question. Then he was asked about Largy, because if you remember, he'd spoke about him needing time to adjust and said Solomon was ready. Largy maybe not so. And then as obviously came and said, look, so impressed with him. Physicality, numbers are backing it up as well, which was a question mark during his time in the Liga. He's on a great path. Impressed with him defensively, although he did mention last night about his defensive setup when that player, I think Kranic, got through Firpo, which led to the penalty, which wasn't great for both of them. And we've seen that happen before, where they just cut across. Especially Firpo, actually. I can't remember which game it was where they just got the run of Ellen Road's right-hand side. Firpo wasn't good last night, was he? But, you can forgive him. He's allowed one poor game in a few. But, yeah, that was it. Listen, I'm sorry for mouthing off as well. I just felt like I needed to get a few things off my chest because I don't know. So, I mean, listen, it's not going to change anyone's opinion, but I just wish we'd all just calm down a little bit. But listen, maybe we'll get some perspective tonight. We've got a great lineup for you tonight, if I'm honest. Evie's joining us. So Evie's joining us, Jer's joining us, Lockie's with us, me, Luke from Ought Know Better, and Matty's coming back as well. So that's a great six-a-side team, that is, if I do say so myself. So make sure you join us for that. Thank you for letting me mouth off as well. And apologies if I have upset anyone directly or indirectly, because it's not my intention. Please don't take it personal. It's YouTube. It's not real life. All right. Peace and love, and I'll see you all back at 9:30. 9:30? No, 9. What am I on about? 9. I'm going to pick up my son now. I was supposed to get him after school, but I wanted to do this, and I got a cheeky hour napping. So I'm gonna go get my son, and I'll see you at 999. Do you remember that program? If you don't, go check it out. It was a classic. Peace out. 9.